Here lies the beautiful electric blue day gecko, one of the rarest animals in the world, and the icon of my channel. This creature inhabits a small swath of land in Tanzania of less than 10 square kilometers in what is called the Kimboza Forest. The females are teal, while the dominant males are a stunning electric blue. The rarity of these geckos is emblematic of the rarity of the color blue in nature. Now you might be thinking, how is the color blue rare? After all, the sky is blue and so is the sea. Here lies the distinction between pigments and optics. In the vast majority of cases, objects that appear blue are early blue. The blue skies are a product of rays of light scattering shorter wavelengths, namely blue and violet, scattering like pinballs hitting various particles in the atmosphere. Since there are more blue wavelengths than violet ones, the sky is blue. And when the sun rises and sets, we manage to see longer wavelengths due to the angles, which result in red, orange, and yellow. Now, as far as the ocean is concerned, water molecules absorb longer wavelengths, like red, while scattering shorter wavelengths like blue. Distilled water absorbs red and orange light easily. In certain cases, bodies of water will look green due to phytoplankton, and brown and yellow due to sediments or decomposed material without enough gas exchange. But that is a matter of physical sciences. What of biology? Well, blue is very rare in the animal kingdom. I mentioned the electric blue day gecko. There's another species of day gecko called the neon day gecko, which has a golden head and a silverish blue body. The yellow head is a product of pigments, whereas the bluish body is a product of optics. Most animals and plants that seem blue are really a matter of optics. However, there are some exceptions, such as the poison blue dart frog. The common blue flower is also a product of optics rather than pigments. And the common blue flower in Western culture has taken on a metaphysical meaning, symbolizing humanity's ambition for transcendence into the unknown and the profound beyond our very perception. Something I would have thought of during a shroom trip. This symbology was quite popular during the Romantics of the late 1800s, but most Westerners have unfortunately largely forgotten about it. But with our current meaning crisis, I hope the symbology of the blue flower comes back into fashion. Ancient peoples tried a variety of methods to produce the color blue, most notably from blue stones such as lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli, unlike, say, azurite, is not super rare. It's not common, but it's not super rare either. Lapis lazuli is blue due to sulfur anions. On top of that, since it's a metamorphic rock, this stone could be easily utilized. This stone could be grounded up into what we now call ultramarine to be used in paintings. Take a look at many of the artistic depictions of Jesus' mom, Mary, oftentimes depicted wearing blue. Blue was oftentimes depicted in religious figures as a form of saying that, hey, we revere this person to a great degree. Even though, let's keep it real, the wife of a carpenter during the time of the Roman ages would probably not be able to afford the color blue. After all, this use of aquamarine was relatively rare. It had to be packaged airtight, or else it would lose its color over time and only the wealthy could afford it. Cobalt is also known for producing the blue color, especially in the process of glassmaking. Cobalt blue is less saturated than that of the electric or Egyptian blue, which makes it great for providing a blue color for transparent objects. Another material used to produce the blue color is indigo, namely for clothing. Blue jeans are quite possibly the most famous example. The American South was renowned for its production of indigo dyes stemming from the plant Indigo tinctoria. However, this was labor-intensive and extensive, and largely had been overtaken by synthetic dyes by the 20th century, as happened with nearly every color. Today, across gender, age, and nationality, blue is the most common favorite color. This is nothing new. The ancient Egyptians produced a pigment we now call Egyptian blue from lime, silica, and copper. Copper, when oxidized, turns teal, hence why the Statue of Liberty is a greenish blue. Due to its rarity, blue, as a pigment, was once the color of the most exalted, probably only beaten out by the even rarer color, purple. However, I could not find an ironclad explanation as to why this is the case. Perhaps blue resembles water, which we need to survive. Perhaps its cool appearance exhibits a sense of serenity and calmness, both of which have been associated with the color blue. Some argue that blue represents masculinity. Blue is for boys and pink is for girls, but then again, this wasn't always the case, and there were times in the past where it was the opposite. Blue has also represented cold temperatures, perhaps due to the cold blue waters of the Arctic, or the blue hues of ice, but then again, some of the hottest fires in the world are blue, or at the very least are white with a blue hue. Others see blue as representing the more cerebral aspects of the human condition, as opposed to the emotional and fiery passions of red. In many countries around the world, the color blue represents conservatism due to its calm, preservationist demeanor. However, in the US, the left-of-center party, the Democrats, have the color blue as their official symbol, whereas the Republicans have red as their symbol even though they're center-right, so this clearly isn't an ironclad rule. Some equate the color blue with sorrow. There's even a genre of music called the blues, exemplifying a certain melancholy of the human condition. But if this was a default perspective, I doubt so many people would pick blue as their favorite color. In more recent years, blue has represented an underlying sense of artificiality, since it's so rare in nature yet so common in some food products. There's such a thing called blue raspberry flavor and blue Takis. These are clearly the result of human interference and not the natural world. The great philosopher George Carlin had mentioned that you rarely ever get blue food other than blueberries. Blue, more than any other color, blurs the lines between the natural and artificial worlds. A rare product of pigments, a common product of optics, and an infinite product of our fascination.